96.7 KCAL rocks. It is your Thursday meeting. It's time to talk some sports. We even got a good football game tonight, which is unusual for a Thursday. It's our guy, Pep. Pep, what's going on?
Patrick, listen, that was the absolute perfect segue because we do have a huge game tonight on Thursday Night Football. In fact, the whole weekend of NFL football, I'm calling it make or break weekend. This is it. This is probably the biggest weekend of NFL football we have. It starts tonight with the Cowboys and the Lions. Now, the Cowboys come in with this, resurgent, push here at the end of the season. They're 6-5-1 right now. The Lions are 7-5. Listen, I know we still have 4 or 5 more regular season games to go, depending on these teams, but this is as close to a playoff game as you're going to see on a Thursday night in, the beginning of December. This is a huge game for both the Lions and the Cowboys.
Lots of clunkers normally. We finally get a new one. I'm going to be out at the Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. If you want to come on by doing Thursday Night Football, we actually have a good game. And you mention it all the time, Pep. You are so right. Wait till after Thanksgiving. Then it starts getting serious. And here we are. And it's exactly like you said.
Yeah, because the NFC's actually, there's no clear front runner. We wanted to put the crown on the Rams a couple of weeks ago because they've been playing so well, but there's no clear front runner, and there is a logjam of really good teams that are above 500 fighting for these playoff spots, and the Cowboys and Lions are 2 of those teams. Dude, I can guarantee you're going to get some Cowboy fans out there at Morongo because this is a huge game. The Cowboys have won a couple important games, and Cowboy fans, as soon as they start winning a couple games, this is their year again. Maybe it's going to be Dallas's year to go all the way.
As they say, here come them boys.
Here come them boys. All right, so huge game tonight, Thursday Night Football. Make or break weekend. Patrick, take a look at these matchups, man. We got the Steelers versus the Ravens. They're both 6-6. This could be for the AFC North title. We got Colts and Jaguars. They're both 8-4. This is for the AFC South lead. We got Bears at 9-3, taking on the Packers at 8-3-1. I am not kidding, man. This is make or break weekend. These are huge matchups in terms of playoff spots, division leaders. There's so much on the line this weekend.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, even look how great the Steelers even kind of started in the season. They kind of look like, hey, maybe we have something. I mean, they're screaming, fire Tomlin. Yes. They were booing Renegade Pep. They have lost it in Pittsburgh, man. It's unbelievable. They're saying Tomlin might be out.
Man, the Steelers and the Ravens have gone in opposite directions, right? Baltimore started so slow, and they're starting to gain some momentum right now. And Pittsburgh, the exact opposite, man. They are falling apart. Mike Tomlin, they want him out. And what's crazy is if you're a football fan and you follow the Steelers, you know that they don't move off head coaches very often. They've only had a couple head coaches in the history of that franchise. Like they ride it out with the coach, man. For better or for worse, they go down with the ship, right? They love their head coaches, but yeah, there's a lot of speculation right now that Pittsburgh has done so bad that maybe it is best for the team and for Mike Tomlin to part ways.
It is wild to think about, but when you do break it down like that, they normally make a coaching change around every 20 years.
Yes.
We're at 20 years. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, so maybe it is time. They've underwhelmed this year, with Aaron Rodgers, who has not played very great. So is it time to kind of, blow up that roster, including the coaching staff, and start over in Pittsburgh? Maybe. I mean, maybe they beat Baltimore and get hot, but it doesn't look good right now.
They're saying, hey, Tomlin, go to Penn State.
Yeah. Or I've heard the New York Giants. He's going to have options. If he leaves the Steelers, he'll have options, no doubt.
Yeah, he will.
So huge games coming up this weekend. Not so much for the Rams. They're going to take on the Cardinals, who are already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but it is a divisional game, so there's importance there, right? So the Rams will take on the Cardinals. And then on Monday Night Football, again, make or break weekend, man. Eagles and Chargers, a great game on Monday Night Football in L.A. Justin Herbert, he had this, the surgery on the broken bone on his left hand. Is he going to play? Is he going to be ready? How long is he going to be out? They haven't really given a concrete timeline on what his status is going to look like.
Right. So for the Chargers, we got to see how that hand is doing.
Yes.
Right. We'll see how much that affects. I mean, he was handing the ball off, they said, with his throwing hand. because of that's how much the other hand was hurting him. And then with the Rams, it's like you said, I think this is actually a really dangerous game for the Rams again. It was kind of a trap game last week, at the Panthers. But now, I mean, of course, they're expected to win this, and it's never good when it's expected. I think this is a huge, dangerous game for the Rams.
It could be, man. The Rams better, stay dialed in, right? Locked in, as the kids say, because they've got to finish out strong. We've talked about the fact that Seattle and San Francisco, I mean, right there, Seattle has the same record. I mean, they're tied for the NFC West lead with that same record, and the 49ers are on their heels, I think, like a half game back. I mean, there's a logjam. Could all three make the playoffs? Yeah, but you want to win that divisional title, so and even the first round bye. I mean, one of those teams could have the number one seed in the NFC.
Which is huge, man, especially if injuries are affecting you, which clearly they are, especially the 49ers. It'll be weird to see, man. The NFC, it's so much of the cream of the crop right now.
Yeah.
And the AFC looks like a zoo.
Yeah, right. And that's what makes it fun. There is neither AFC or NFC, there's no clear cut like, wow, that team's really good. How are you going to beat that team? No, there's probably, 15 different teams right now that feeling like, hey, we can make the playoffs and we can make a run at the Super Bowl. So we shall see. That makes it fun here in December. All right, Patrick, we've got to talk some college football as well. We've got the conference championship games as we come down to the wire here for college foosball. The big one in the Big Ten, right? Number 1, Ohio State taking on number 2, Indiana. A couple other good ones. Georgia taking on Alabama for the SEC championship. Oh, even BYU taking on Texas Tech for the Big 12 championship. All those games have a ton of importance on the college football playoff. Remember, the top 12 teams in the nation get into the college football playoff. The 4 top teams get a first round bye. And right now, even with those conference championship games involving some of the upper tier teams, we don't know exactly who these 12 playoff teams are going to be. And Patrick, it could be a real mess at the end.
There could be a lot of changes coming up. Just like you said, we got a lot of deciding games going on in the NFL and the exact same thing happening in college football. There's going to be, of course, it's even wilder than the NFL, as wild as that sounds, man. So we don't know what's going to happen. I am feeling Ohio State. I am definitely drinking the Kool-Aid on them. I really feel like they really realize how good they are now. But, I mean, we'll have to see. It's a bunch of awesome matchups. I see what's going to happen. If we're rooting for the underdog, that's kind of how we feel in SoCal a little bit. We're probably pulling for BYU in all these teams.
Yeah, BYU, Indiana, Georgia versus Alabama. They've had a ton of success. But yeah, I'd love to see a team, like a BYU or an Indiana make a run to that college football national championship. But first, they got to get in. Indiana's definitely in. But BYU is right there on the fringe. They have to win the Big 12 championship to get in. If they don't, that's where things get messy. There's a lot of teams on the fringe. We know there's going to be multiple Big Ten and SEC teams in this college football playoff. But after that, the ACC might not get any teams in, and the Big 12 might only get a couple. And then you've got to get maybe like a James Madison or a Tulane. Notre Dame's out there. Patrick, it's going to be wild this final weekend and see how this college football playoff comes out. Urban Meyer, former Ohio State coach, said he would prefer a format that is already in concrete, like 4 teams from the Big Ten, 4 from the SEC, 2 from the Big 12, 2 from the ACC. So you know exactly, if you finish in the top 4, you're into the college football playoff. Right now, it's rankings. How are they going to rank these teams, man? And so you kind of leave it to being subjective, right?
Now, it does go to show you, though, because it depends on what you have. It seems like you want the other. Because right now, like in the NFL, you got to win your division to get in. And people complain about that. Well, if they did the reseeding like college football is in, people complain about that. It seems like it's a really tough thing to decide to do. It just makes me wonder if the old computer from the 80s and the 90s that used to pick out the old BCS, it might have been the real deal.
Yes, the old BCS national champion. Or maybe, Patrick, we're old enough to remember. Remember, there were some seasons we'd have 2 national champions. There was the coaches poll and the AP polls. Michigan's the champ in this poll, number 1, but Nebraska's the number 1 in the other poll. We'd have multiple national champions. So it's funny. We all begged and pleaded to have a college football playoff. We finally got the playoff, and it feels like we still can't get it right. Although to 16, and then maybe we'd still have the same problem because 16 through 20 is going to be like, hey, we deserve to be in the playoffs. So I don't know. Will this mess never ever end? I don't know, but it makes it fun, I guess.
As they say, the table is set. And by the time we talk on Monday, we'll have a lot to talk about with sports, with our guy, Pep. Time about to get your stuff.
Make or break weekend, man. Don't forget, Inland Sports right now on X, on Instagram, and Facebook. We're also on YouTube. That is Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.